Good evening, colleagues, and welcome once again to the Project Management Guru series. Today, I want to share with you an aspect of contract management which sometimes can turn out to be a bit problematic on your respective construction contracts. I want to talk to you today about temporary works. Temporary works are basically works like form work, props, temporary fencing, temporary lighting, temporary water system, temporary drainage, things that will actually support the execution of or the delivery of the permanent works. Now, these temporary works, the question arises is the engineer, has he got any responsibility towards these temporary works? And that is what I seek to answer in this presentation today. Is the engineer legally obliged to warn of any danger associated with the temporary works? Yes, he is legally obliged, and I will explain to you why it is so. Normally, an engineer is engaged by the employer with regard to the design and inspection of the permanent works. So virtually, his contract of engagement with the employer is basically to design and supervise the permanent works. But it doesn't end there. The permanent works is somehow related to the temporary works, or the temporary works supports the permanent works or supports the delivery of the permanent works. So he cannot turn a blind eye to the temporary works and say my work is only the permanent works and that's the end of the story. He needs to be very vigilant with regard to the construction of the temporary works as well. In actual fact, it is an implied duty of his engagement that if he notices any problem with the temporary works, or if he realizes that the temporary works are likely to cause a problem to the permanent works, he must take action to obviate the danger. And it's not just taking action in fact, this obligation actually extends beyond he taking action only, but if he notices there's a problem, or he must include regular inspections to ensure that no dangers arise. So it's not just him warning of the dangers of these temporary works. He must make regular inspections of these temporary works to ensure that they do not jeopardize any of the permanent works. If there's any problem with the temporary works, which causes maybe permanent works to collapse, the problem will first instance be addressed to the main contractor. It is his responsibility. He has to virtually rework or do the whole work again or execute the whole work again. But in the event of this contractor not in business, let's say goes into liquidation, then the spotlight will then fall on the engineer. The employer has every right to sue the engineer for negligence of duty as far as the temporary works are concerned. So, my fellow engineers, don't turn a blind eye to the temporary works. As you visit the sites and you inspect the permanent works to ensure that the permanent works is done correctly, please pay attention to the temporary works as well, because they have an impact on the permanent works. If you notice that the stormwater drainage structures on the site is likely to flood the site and cause a disturbance of the permanent work, especially foundation excavations, please, first of all, give a warning to the contractor and copy the employer and make sure that these things are corrected so that the permanent works are not jeopardized. This case came up, or this issue came up in a case between Hart Investments Limited versus Fiddler and Latpark, 2007, a UK case. And it's very important that you read about this case, and it will give you an insight into why the engineer, you have an implied duty to actually warn of the danger of the temporary works and also conduct regular inspections. Thank you very much for listening. Once again, my name is the Project Management Guru. Visit my YouTube channel, and as you watch these videos, please click on the subscribe button and become a subscriber to the channel. And also you can visit my Facebook page, #GCCJBCC, or you can also visit my Facebook group or join my Facebook group, Project Management and more. Thank you very much for listening, and have a good night.